We are reading Skinny Bones, and this is Chapter 9, Losers Play Ball, Film at 11. I put on a belt and headed over to the baseball field. The Little League uses the same field as the middle school. It's not far from my house, but this time as I turned the corner, I froze, dead in my tracks. The bleachers were packed, and when I say packed, I mean packed solid. My skin broke out in a cold sweat. No, this couldn't be happening. Why would all those people show up at a dumb Little League game? It didn't make sense. Even if my entire class showed up, the bleachers wouldn't come close to being filled. There had to be a mistake somewhere. The middle school was having some kind of function, I bet. That's when it hit me. Wait. Hold it. It's June, Alex. June. June as in graduation day. Of course. The 8th grade class was graduating, and there had been a mix-up in the schedules. Someone had forgotten to tell the Little League. I looked up to the sky and folded my hands. Thank you, God. Thank you. Thank you. This is a wonderful thing you've done here. A wonderful, godly, zippy, wonderful thing. Relieved, I sat down on the curb to wait for my parents. They'd be coming along soon, and I wanted to be the first one to break the good news. As I was waiting there, a truck from Channel 6 News pulled up, and a cameraman got out. He lifted some heavy equipment out of the back door. "Are you guys going to be filming that graduation ceremony over there?" I asked. The man didn't pay much attention to me. "What graduation? That's a baseball game," he mumbled. All of a sudden, the cold sweat was back. Okay, don't panic. There's a reasonable explanation here, Alex. Nothing to get excited about." I swallowed hard. "A baseball game? Like, what kind of baseball game? Like the middle school championship game, do you mean? Because that would make sense, because, the crowd is huge." The cameraman shook his head. "No, it's not a championship. It's just a regular Saturday morning Little League game. In fact, somebody told me that one of the teams hasn't won a game all season. What losers, huh?" I collapsed on the sidewalk. Just flat out collapsed. The cameraman glanced down. "You okay, kid?" I opened one eye and stared up at him. "Okay?" I asked. "Am I okay?" "No, I am not okay. That's my team you're talking about, mister. It's my team that hasn't won a game all year. What kind of man are you anyway? What kind of man would want to embarrass a pathetic Little League team by showing them lose on the 6 o'clock news?" "Whoa, wait a minute, son. Calm down," he said. "I'm not here to embarrass anyone. It's the other team we're interested in. The one with that hotshot pitcher on it." I threw down my cap. "TJ, I knew it! I knew this was his fault. He probably called the station, didn't he? He probably called the station and invited you here personally." The man shrugged. "I don't know who set it up, kid. The story is headline news in the paper this morning, though. That probably explains all the people. It said this kid has won every single Little League game he's ever played in. If this team wins today, it will be his 125th straight winning game. That's quite a string," he said. I closed my eyes. "String schming," I muttered miserably. I got to my feet and started walking. Desperately, I looked into the sky again. "God, remember a few minutes ago when I was thanking you? Well, it was my understanding that you'd done a little miracle for me or something, but now it turns out you didn't, and so I think it would be a nice gesture on your part if you could make it up to me." I racked my brain for a plan. "Okay, got it. Just make the people in the bleachers go home. You could do that, couldn't you, God? Just make everyone think they left the water running in their bathtubs. That would be easy enough, right? It might even be kind of amusing, don't you think?" I looked around to see if anyone was leaving. People were still piling into the stands. "Okay, then how about this?" I bargained. "Just make the cameraman go home. Just that one little man, God. If the cameraman goes home, I will go to Sunday school every single Sunday for the rest of my life without a fight, I promise." I turned around. The cameraman was walking behind me, carrying his equipment to the field. "All right, this is it, my last idea. And this is something right up your alley, God. A lightning bolt. Close enough to scare them, but far enough away not to hurt anyone. Just one tiny little lightning bolt, God. And I promise I will run home this very minute and read my entire book of Bible stories from cover to cover." I looked into the sky. It was the sunniest day since my pitching contest. My shoulders drooped even lower than before. I hung my head. God is not the pushover that some people would like you to believe. When I finally arrived at the field, my team was already out there warming up. I could see the tension in their faces. It was obvious I wasn't the only one who was sick about this. I headed out to right field. My knees were shaking underneath me. "Hey, Frankovich, where in the heck have you been?" shouted my coach. "I thought we were going to have to play without a right fielder. Get out there and warm up. Now hustle." I began to trot. "All right, Alex. Okay, that's far enough," hollered my coach again. "I'm going to hit you a couple out there. Now get ready." He hit me a high pop fly. I was nervous as anything, all those eyes in the bleachers. I could actually feel them staring at me. But the ball came so fast, I didn't have time to dwell on it. I'd watched the ball leave the bat, followed it in the air, and caught it. Perfect. A perfect catch. My nerves settled a little. Geez, maybe this wasn't going to be so tough after all. Maybe a crowd brought out the best of me or something. "Okay, Alex, here comes another one." This time it was a grounder. As soon as I saw it coming, I ran up to it, bent down, and scooped it up in my glove. "Hey, all right there, Alex," yelled the coach. "Way to play." Man, did he ever sound relieved. My shoulders relaxed. I looked up to the sky and smiled.